Take it away, Brucey.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, viewers, Twitch, and then eventually YouTube later. We are back with Team Ohana, and today we are doing the Ruby Fantasy Draft with some new members that you guys haven't seen on video before. With us now, we have me, Bruce, who you know as Bruce, Corey, and Matt, who you've seen in previous videos. But we have some other members, and we're gonna let them introduce themselves now. You want to start, Russ?
Sure. I am Russ. I've been playing card games pretty much my whole life. Yeah, I've picked up Lorcana when it came out, and it was very similar to the WoW TCG, which I played a bunch of competitively and done all right. I got top 32 in Atlanta at the champs, and did pretty well locally, and yeah, had a lot of fun with the game. Got to meet all these awesome people. So.
All right, Luca.
I am 15. I'm on Ohana. I play card games. I've been playing for like 10 years, 9 years. I just recently won the 10K in Georgia, the CCS. Yeah.
All right, and Tanya.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I've been playing card games for probably like 5-ish years now. Played Yu-Gi-Oh first, and then I kind of got bored of it, so I picked up Lorcana, and yeah.
So now what we're going to do to guys today is if you're not familiar with sports or football at all, this is going to be a fantasy styled snake draft where we are picking Ruby cards based on their decisions. We're going to do 7 rounds. The draft order is going to be, where'd this go? Luca will have the first pick, followed by Matt, Russell, and then Tanya, and then it'll finish with Corey. And in a snake style draft, it'll bounce back and forth. So Corey will start off with 2 picks, and then it'll bounce back and go in reverse order. If we want to go ahead and start, Luca, do you want to take the first pick off the board?
Yeah, my first pick is going to be Prepared.
Be
You want to tell us why you're taking B Prep?
B Prep has been my favorite card. I'm a red purple player, and it's the only deck I play, so it's pretty easy for me. B Prep is the first card I'm taking.
Alrighty, so now that Luca's taking B Prep off the board, if you've never drafted before, B Prep is no longer available to be taken by any other players, and you, the audience, are going to vote at home on who has the best draft. So Luca has taken Be Prepared off the board, and Matt will have the next pick.
I'm going to take Madame Medusa because it's arguably one of the most bannable cards.
Broken.
And it's definitely broken, yep.
Gotta find it. Hold
Table
on.
lady.
You guys gotta slow down.
I would agree. Luca and I talked
The
about
image isn't showing up. Hold on.
Luca and I were talking about what he was going to take with his first or second pick, and it was a kind of a lock between B Prep and Medusa because of exactly what Matt said. Medusa being like arguably bannable, but it came down to B Prep just being the best overall card.
Yeah, I would have took B Prep with a heartbeat.
Absolutely. The first thing we said when we joined the call is, well, we know what the first card taken is going to be, and we were simultaneously like B Prep.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it.
This happens a lot in like drafts. You know, you have like the obvious first and second overall pick, and then
I thought you told me I was the 5th pick, so I was so excited to you say second.
I should be the second.
Alrighty, so Matt has taken Madame Medusa off the board. She's no longer available. Russell, what are you taking with your first round pick?
I just want to say I did also have B Prep first and Madame Medusa second on my list. So yeah, that was in line with my thinking too. Third pick's a little difficult. I went between a couple cards, but ultimately I decided Maui is the third.
No.
Mostly it's so good. Basically, I mean, it's overstated for its cost and it just takes out so much. I mean, when you're deck building against red decks, you have to think about B Prep, you have to think about Madame Medusa, and you have to think about Maui. So those are kind of my criteria with the top 3 there. So
Russell gets the first enchanted.
Ooh.
I didn't put the regular arts in, so if like there's an enchanted that you pick, then like you get it.
Bonus points.
That's
Bonus points for the enchanted.
Best inkable card in the game.
Yeah, that's a great pick, Russell. Luca was literally pointing at it as you said it. All right, so Maui is off the board. Tanya, you are 4th on the list. What is your first pick going to be?
My first pick is Luca's absolute favorite card, Super Goof.
Oh, Super Goof with the 4th pick. Let's talk about that. Why'd you put Goof in the first round?
Honestly, I've been playing a lot. I recently switched my deck, and it's more of like a rushed style deck. And like Super Goof, I've always like thought since it came. Well, I guess since it came out and this 4th set, I really liked it. And I just like the aspect of like gaining lore off of like challenging. So it's definitely one of my favorite cards.
Had somebody took an unplayable card. Better pick than me. Always glad to hear.
Super Goof is gone in the first round. And now, last but most certainly not least, Corey has back-to-back picks to finish out the first round and start the second. So what is going to be your pick to finish off the first round, Corey?
My first round pick is going to be I'm gonna go with Scar, Vicious Cheater.
That's a good one.
Since B Prep was the most powerful card, I might as well have B Prep on legs. Even though it's an unequal 7-drop coming in, clearing up low cost characters or trading into a super high cost character is always going to be beneficial. In worst case scenario, he quests for 2.
Alrighty,
We like those stats.
What set was that from? 2? That was an
2,
early
yeah.
card, yeah. I always liked that card.
Yeah, he kind of didn't see play like from the jump, but then people started putting the obstacle deck and stuff.
Yeah, he's like the spiciest one of in a lot of red purple decks. Or
Yeah.
even blue red decks now.
For sure.
Alrighty, so that ends the very first round of the draft. We're going to go into round 2. Corey has the first pick because he had the last one in the first round. What are you going to go with? Back-to-back picks are very interesting.
My next pick is going to be probably one of the best cards in the game, Lady Tremaine. It's just like Medusa and B Prep. You know it's going to be in the red decks. You're going to have to play around it by like slapping down 2 characters. This was really actually kind of tough for me because I really wanted to go with B King Undisputed, which is Song Tremaine. But I think those 2 are a wombo combo, so I just went with the character because it can also quest for 2.
Actually,
You just wanted the enchanted.
I did.
He just wanted the enchanted.
Enchanted bonus points. Enchanted bonus points.
Yeah.
People are going to look at the graphic and say who's got the most chance. All right, so Corey has so far he has Scar and Lady Tremaine on his picks. Tanya, you took Super Goof off the board with your first pick. Are you gonna shock us as much with your second overall pick?
I thought about it, but I'm actually the way you guys are picking. I really wanted B King, so B King is my second pick.
Tanya takes B King. Why are you taking B King here?
Honestly, because Corey took Tremaine, and I really wanted I wanted Tremaine. I love Tremaine. It's gets around a lot of like the ward and everything. So, B King is just literally Tremaine in an action. So I had to pick it.
Excellent. All right, and then
Good
we're moving
card.
back up to Russell. Where are you going with your second overall pick? You started with Maui.
I did. So Maui was my number 3 card. My number 4 card's actually still on the board, so I'm very excited. So my number 4 card for Ruby is Brawl. I think it's kind of become a staple for red. Maybe the most powerful red card in the set, arguably. There's a lot of good ones, but especially with how good Diablo is, I think it's become, and then it also hits, of course, Hiram. So I think it's just a really, really good card. Right now,
Yeah,
especially.
absolutely. Those are the first 2 that popped into my head. I was like, as a blue player or green player, you really hate to see Brawl hit your Diablos and Hirams, especially.
I think we do want to. I think when we do, if we do like a VOD, we should edit the TJ brawl card into the stream. That's the best alt art.
Absolutely. All right, so now we are back up to Matt. Matt took Medusa with his first round pick. Let's see what he goes with for his second.
Gonna stick with the hit the board removal and pick Maleficent Dragon.
All right, why are you taking a big drop like that in the second round?
Because it's a unit. It banishes any character. I know it's not as favored in red purple now. Still sees play in blue red, but was also always a huge card in red purple before, and there's always the best turn one ink.
All right, that was a great one. Also, it kills Castle. All right, so now we're back up to Luca. Luca had the very first overall pick and took B prep and has had to wait a while as he watches some of his favorite cards get taken off the board. So what are you gonna go with your second overall pick?
My second overall pick, I'm gonna have to take Flynn. I think it's a very meta-defining card and really changed red purple. I'm basically just gonna draft red purple at this point, so taking Flynn off the board pretty easily.
There's
I
only
think
like
Flynn's a really good choice.
2
Do you
cards
guys have
left.
any other
I know.
comments?
No, I think Flynn was gonna be my third pick if he fell that far. I didn't expect him to, so I definitely anticipated this going pretty high.
Yeah, it's pretty high up for me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With in combo with like Maui just chilling on the board, he's such a threat, and especially early game against like the slower decks.
Even just like the fox or the other one of the Sisus that's in the set, you know. It's just early free lore.
Yeah, it's just constantly applying pressure. All right, cool. So Luca has taken B prep and Flynn, and he gets to go again. So let's see, what are you gonna take with your next pick?
For my next pick, it's gonna have to be 8-drop Sisu. Again, meta-defining card. It's in every single blue-red list. It's topped multiple events. The card's really cool, and I really enjoy board wipe effects. That's why I took B prep the first pick. So Sisu 8-drop is gonna be my pick.
Alrighty, with the second pick in round 3, Matt so far has Medusa and Maleficent Dragon. What are you going with for your third pick?
I'm staying with the removal, and I'm gonna also get an enchanted, and I'm gonna go Dragonfire.
Oof.
Oh, I didn't pick that enchanted. Sorry. That one's just a regular card.
Wow.
You didn't get the
Uh,
championship
You didn't get
promo.
it's because it's a promo.
It's a
It's
promo. It's a promo. I thought about that. I was gonna do it.
Amateur hour over here. No, I'm just joking.
Chill.
Go take backs.
Fine.
All right, why'd you take Dragon's Fire other than for the hope of an enchanted that you didn't get?
Banishes a card, keeping the same theme of the red removal. I feel like those are the best red cards.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So Russell, what is going to be your third overall pick? You've picked some really good meta defining cards so far in Maui and Brawl.
Yes. So I'm excited about this one. I feel like this one was kind of slept on a little bit at the very beginning of the set when it came out, but quickly people caught on to how good it was, and it's the 3-cost Sisu, the 1/4 that gets +1 attack for every card in your opponent's hand. Combo's great with Flynn, and also has started seeing play in other decks just because they need to counter opposing Sisu 3 costs. And it also is pretty good at dealing with locations. There are times where it can one-shot a location just because it's that strong. It quests for 2. It's just a really strong character for 3. So
It's an absolute unit. Does anybody else have any thoughts on 3-drop Sisu?
3-drop Sisu was definitely my my next
Yeah.
pick. I was just keeping the theme of red purple.
Yeah, I honestly thought that this was gonna go over before the 8-drop Sisu, just because it's so detrimental to the Flynn Rider like being worth it, what it's worth, you know.
Absolutely. Alrighty, Tanya. So far, you have shocked the first round pick with Super Goof and followed it up with B King because Corey stole your Tremaine. What are you going to be taking now with your third pick?
I am picking the uninkable 3-drop Sisu.
Interesting. Why
I
that one?
like because it kind of still has a little bit of removal. I think it's mixed for me. With because I played blue red I still play blue red, but playing blue red for so long and like pairing it with ice block, you can pretty much wipe a lot of cards off the board early game. So yeah, no, it's definitely, and it's evasive, so it's kind of nice.
Sounds good. Last pick in the third round moves on to Corey. So far, you have Scar Vicious Cheater and Lady Tremaine off the board. How are you going to finish this third round?
So I'm gonna go kind of spicy pick here. I think my pick here would probably be set 1 Aladdin.
Interesting.
The 7-drop. I think I just think this card has like infinite potential. I think as of right now, we're obviously seeing that red is like the lore removal uh color. So I kind of went with this one for like future prospects just because it's a Floodborn, it shifts, it's a 5/5 body, which is good. It quests for 2, and then uh being able to remove lore as well as gain lore on its own is just a really strong effect. So
I think the most important thing here is it is also an enchanted.
I
and
was
it's an
about to say
enchanted.
the same
That was my next
thing.
point. That was my next point. We're cooking. We're cooking here.
That is definitely a shocker to finish the third round. If you want to take us off the top of the fourth, Corey, with your back-to-back picks, what are you going with to set us off in the fourth?
Yeah. So my next card is going to be a fun little sing song that Luca thinks is an absolutely terrible card. I'm going to go with Teeth and Ambitions.
Terrible.
It's when the card came out, it was just broken. It made the Amber Still match into Ruby Amethyst very unfavorable. Dealing 2 damage to any character that early it's just probably gonna banish it. So I'd probably go with Teeth and Ambitions. I think it is a very strong card.
That was gonna be my next pick. Good, yeah, that's a good one. I think it's
Interesting.
still really good.
Excellent. Alrighty, so now Teeth and Ambitions is off the board with the first pick in the fourth round. Now we go back to Tanya. What are you taking with your fourth pick?
I am taking Jim Hawkins.
Wow.
I feel like I'm picking like really weird cards that you guys obviously like don't think are that good, but I like Jim
No,
Hawkins.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I love Jim Hawkins, especially with Snuggly Duckling coming out. Because I've kind of switched to a blue red that's more like aggro and challenger based. So like Jim Hawkins just like free standing one of my 8 locations that I have in my deck is just so nice, and then moving it there for free, though none of mine really like do a ton. Well, the Jim Hawkins wouldn't do a ton at Snuggly Duckling, but I just like Jim Hawkins. It's just a free location. You get 2 for 1 there.
I mean, I really like Jim. He was on Luca's draft board as well. We talked about the card. Like you said, he's been playing it in that blue-red concoction cook-up deck you've been trying. And then there was the one that kind of appeared at the 10K this past weekend with a yellow-red location deck. That's like pretty neat as well. That kind of revolves around playing Jim on 3. So it's definitely a very good card.
I also think it's a strong pick just because of future potential.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we're bound to get a location that's just even better than Queen's Castle is, and when we do, being able to play it for free is going to be very worthwhile.
Alrighty, so Russell has finished his next pick. Oops, sorry. Tanya just did her pick, so Russell is taking his next pick. So far, he has Maui Brawl and the 3-drop Sisu. What are you going with in the fourth round, Russ?
Tough choice. There's some good stuff. I kind of went with the card that's been showing up in multiple decks, so I'm gonna go with Mother Gothel, the 2-cost 3/4 that comes into play with 3 damage.
Bro, I have
er-
guessed every single pick of Russell's.
He was pointing at that one too.
I've also played a lot of Mufasa, and so like I I played a lot of Mufasa with Rapunzel. It's just such a good combo, and they keep coming out with more healing cards, so like there's more healing and draw options. So Mother Gothel's just gotten better. And a 3/4 if you're able to heal it for 2 is just really powerful. But the combo with Rapunzel is just I mean, it's very, very strong drawing 3 cards. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that card is, or that kind of card design is obviously very good with the way they've been designing the game because we have cards like that Mulan and the Beast that they've also put out recently. So I really like that pick.
Yeah,
So
predicted that from Tempo Rapunzel himself.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. All right, Matt, what is your fourth round pick going to be?
I'm going to pick the mascot of the game, Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Tailor, because it quests for 4, and more importantly, it has a gold card, which will be on the graphic, right?
Yeah, let me just search that really quick.
Because forget you're enchanted.
Matt's being smart here and angling for the audience votes with the shiny
He is,
cards.
he is. I'll change that one. Imagine this is a gold card, guys. Imagine this is a gold card.
He's like, if I can't get the
Being
dragon's fire,
viciously
you gotta
disappointed.
That's a great pick, Matt. Other than it being gorgeous and questing for 4, is there any other reason?
It's the mascot of the games, the main reason.
It's a fan favorite. Hopefully that'll get you some bonus points with the audience.
Hopefully.
Alrighty, and now we are back up to the top with Luca. What is going to be your pick to finish the fourth round out?
My pick is I'm gonna keep it on theme. Go with Minnie Mouse Surfer, stylish surfer. I think it was a really meta-defining card in set 3. I think it was really important for the game, and unfortunately, it died off of because of Brawl. Rest in peace, Minnie Mouse. But that's gonna have to be my pick.
Alrighty.
Mouse was terrible and unplayable.
It is.
Yeah,
Good in draft though. Good in draft.
so now we are officially at just over the halfway point of the draft because we're doing 7 rounds. We just finished 4. So at this point, really quickly, we're gonna recap everybody's draft, and we'll just have you guys say your own picks in the order that we've been drafting from top to bottom. We'll start with Luca. What have been your 4 picks so far?
So my first pick was B Prep. Second pick was Flynn Rider Frenemy. Third pick was 8-drop Sisu. And fourth pick was Minnie Mouse Stylish Surfer.
Already, and then Matt, what have been your picks so far?
Madame Medusa, Maleficent Dragon, Dragonfire, and Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Tailor.
All right, and Russ?
My picks have been Maui, Brawl, the 1/4 3-drop Sisu, and then Mother Gothel.
Alrighty, and then Tanya?
I've got Enchanted Super Goof, B King, 3-drop Uninkable Sisu 1/1, and then Jim Hawkins.
Ready, and then Corey?
Lady Tremaine, Scar, Vicious Cheater. Oh god, I'm losing track.
One, Aladdin.
Aladdin, set 1. Because the big boy, and then what was my last one?
Teeth and Ambition.
Yeah, Teeth and Ambitions, a card I despise.
This
But my memory is so bad.
It's all good. Alrighty, so now that we have recapped the draft, we have 3 more rounds left, and this is where we start to get really crunchy. You have to pick cards over the other because they might have like incremental advantages. Early in the draft, things are really obvious with like taking B prep off the board, but it gets much harder picking between cards when the card pool gets smaller and the cards are less good, and the differences between them might be more minimal. So this should get exciting. All right, so Luca, let's go with your next pick starting off in round 5. What are you going with?
Okay, round 5. This is completely just opinion based. I love this card. I'm gonna have to go with 5-drop Uninkable Ratigan.
All right, and
The
other
one
than
from set
because you
2,
love
the
it,
big giant rat.
Yeah, other than
Oh, here we go. Yep.
is there a good reason for why you picked that card?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I just love the card. I love the card design. I wish it was a 4-3 so we didn't have to play against these icky Medusa players. Can't believe people register that card.
Me either. That's
Don't
crazy.
you have 4 in your deck?
Strange.
Personally, I mean, that's kind of a shocker in the 5th round and going at this point, but I really liked Radigan when the Mufasa deck was first kind of being innovated. He was just a really good card that kind of helped, you control the board in a deck that didn't have like very many non-character options. So, he had an effect on a character that was good. So he was in the deck. So I really like that card a lot. So Matt, what are you taking in round 5?
I'm taking Prince Eric, Expert Helmsman, the uninkable 4-drop 2/2.
That was my next
Banishes,
pick.
Mine too.
banishes a character.
What set's that
when
one
he's
from?
removed. Sticks on the red removal theme, great with teeth. Forces your opponent to play around it.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty shocked that it fell into the 5th round. That's a really good card. That kind of flew
Me
under the
too.
radar for me, so that's a really neat pick. I heard that some of you say that that was your next pick, so do you guys have any thoughts on Eric at this point?
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's a great card. I also like it in tandem with Teeth and Ambitions. Questing for 2, then teething it and popping and potentially popping 2 characters or even damaging 1 character and removing another one just to like ease it up for the rest of your board. I think the card's got a bunch of utility. So
Yeah, I
Yeah, I've
feel
been
that a lot.
testing the red-yellow deck from Towelman, and it's definitely a fun addition. It forces people to play around it to protect their Diablos and whatnot.
I was definitely thinking about that over Radigan, but Radigan had to be the choice. Card's broken.
Yeah, I really like Prince Eric. He honestly reminds me a lot of like a green card because green cards are like typically really like inconvenient to out, but like Prince Eric is like very bothersome to out. As soon as he hits the board, I'm like more annoyed than most green cards because you know that that card is like he's gonna get like very good value just on his own, whereas typically you have to like get 2-for-1s in like a more difficult way.
agreed.
Go ahead and take your next pick, Russell, for round 5. What are you going with?
Okay, so I'm gonna take the best Ruby location. I'm gonna take RLS Legacy is gonna be my pick.
Interesting.
Spicy.
I like it. It's really I think
Fancy.
it's a really powerful effect. I was gonna take Jim Hawkins as well if Tanya hadn't taken Jim Hawkins. So
Mine.
and it's starting to show back up again. People are starting to play Jim Hawkins. People realize how powerful locations are, Queen's Castles, all over the place, and now this crazy yellow red location deck has shown up and people are starting to play it in red blue as well, so I just think it's really good. And evasive being as important as it is, I think giving something of yours evasive is really powerful. So
Nice. It's a really, really nice pick situated in the 5th round there. Tanya, moving on to you. What are you going with for your 5th round pick?
Gosh, hold on. So I'm going with what I believe is also a top contender for locations, and that's Snuggly Duckling. This card is like, in my opinion, like such a wombo combo with your rush cards and then Tuk Tuk or just any card. I've used it with Medusa, Tuk Tuk, moved it over. I just think that it has like so much potential to gain you that 3 lore. So yeah, no, Snuggly Duckling is definitely a top contender for locations for me, and it's huge. It is 9 health, which is crazy. So
9 is a lot, especially
9
for
is a
only
lot.
2 ink.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a really good pick right there in the 5th round. Corey, what are you going with to finish out round number 5 for us?
So So my next choice is gonna be an item. It's gonna be Maui's fishhook. I think Maui's fishhook in like set 3 meta was like super good. Being able to just give one of your characters evasive or challenger +3 lets Maui take out every location in the game, or give evasive to any of your characters to just like take out a evasive target, like Diablo or Red Donald Duck or something menacing that you have to actually deal with. Um, I think it's just super good. And then if you have a Maui, being able to tap it for free, Maui was like the second pick in the draft, so that just seems like it has the most value.
That's a really good pick to finish out the 5th round. I like that card a lot. I liked that we finished the 5th round with 3 non-character cards, and 2 of them had to deal with evasive, which is a very powerful effect in the game. So that is a good way to finish off that round. Now we have 2 more rounds left. We'll probably be getting into some very strange cards that maybe people don't see in decks or have been in and out of the meta in people's decks. So let's start us off in round 6. Corey, what are you going with in round 6?
I'm gonna loop back to a character card. I'm gonna go with Hydra. I think Hydra's a great character. Kind of has the same effect as the Eric Captain, where as soon as it hits the board, you kind of need to one shot it and just you deal with it. Because whenever it's dealt damage, you deal that much damage to a chosen character of your opponents. So um, even if you come in, put him into play, teeth and ambition, something for 2. You he takes 2 damage, you deal 2 more damage to another character. Just high value.
I think that you just got a vote from one of the viewers because you picked his favorite Ruby card. You got an instant vote.
Let's get it.
It Hydra, and it was over, bro.
Dude, that's DJ. What a
The Sour Power asks, "How do I play online?" The answer to that is Tabletop Simulator.
what
That's
if I
like the
pick
only way to play
the
now.
red Hercules?
Or webcam test.
Yeah.
All right, now we are gonna jump back up to Tanya. What are you gonna take with your pick in the 6th round?
I am taking Tuk Tuk.
Ooh, we see a theme developing here with Tanya's picks.
She really likes
I
cards that
am-
are in her deck right now.
yeah. No, I also just really like Tuk Tuk. Raya is definitely one of my favorite movies. So, and this Tuk Tuk is got evasive. It moves a character to a location for free when it's played and gives them +2 power. So, it paired with Snuggly Duck is just kind of crazy.
I agree. We are moving back up to Russell. What is your 6th round pick going to be? Your last one was RLS Legacy.
Yes, I was also gonna take Tuk Tuk if Tanya didn't take Tuk Tuk. So, I'm gonna go with a card that really hasn't seen a lot of competitive play yet, but I still think it has potential, especially if they come out with more shiftable targets. So, I'm gonna go with Mulan from the set, the legendary Mulan.
No. I
Oh my
love
Um,
that. That was the
I
best card.
literally knocked off every single Russell pick.
I was
I think
torn
it's
between Mulan and Hydra.
yeah, both good. I think Mulan, as long as you can shift it, very powerful. I mean, there are other ways to give it attack too, but yeah, it's being able to deal 5 damage to 3 characters is pretty good. So if it goes off, so yeah, I think a lot of people have tried it in Red, Yellow, Mufasa and had mixed results. But hopefully they keep coming out with more Mulans that you can shift onto it, and I think it'll still be a good card going forward.
Good. I mean, yeah, I agree. I really like that card, and I can echo a lot of those same sentiments. I think that card is good, pretty good now as it is. But like you said, it as we get more Mulans and more ways to put it on other cards and shifting, like maybe with other morph-like effects, it definitely has the potential to see its way into the meta. Alrighty, next goes back up to Matt. What are you taking in the 6th round?
Since it's a draft, I'm gonna take a cracked card and draft Medallion Weights. A card that doesn't see that much play in the meta. I think it would be good in the items blue red, and it could see its way into other red decks. But just being able to draw an extra card every turn is obviously great.
Yeah, helping Malleus finish off castles is good too, right? That's the one that pumps things by 2.
Yeah,
Excellent.
+2, and you get to draw a card to tap it in tap 2.
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts on Medallion Weights? It's been a card that we've seen, like Matt said, in the blue-red deck recently.
It was on my list as well.
It was also on mine.
I did play it in blue red in the first tournament that we played in this format, and it was good. I just ran as a one of, and it was good. Anything that lets you draw more cards and get more attack power, and it's really cheap too. I think it's really strong. So
And it's inkable, right? So
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
a good card.
It was my I was going with an item either way last round, and I was torn between Medallion Weights and Hook, and I just think Hook is a little bit better, but I definitely think Medallion Weights has a place in the meta, especially going forward.
Alrighty. To finish off the 6th round, we have Luca. Your last pick was rad again. How are you going to finish off the 6th round? Hopefully with a good card.
I think I'm gonna go with Shield of Virtue. It saw a lot of play in set 1 in red purple, and I think it's really good currently because Castle is kind of taking over red blue, and I'm scared to see it when I play red purple and I play against a red blue player and they play it. So for me, I'm taking Shield of Virtue as my 5th pick, right?
6th pick.
6th pick.
That's a really good way to finish off the 6th round, honestly. I think Shield of Virtue is a really good card, and I thought that I didn't necessarily think that it would go higher, but I thought that whenever it would get taken, it would be a really high value pick. Does anybody have any thoughts as we finish the 6th round?
I think
Nah, Shield of
was a weak
Virtue was
pick.
good.
I think
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a
a
good
weak pick.
Pick a weak pick. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's very good paying 3 to untap. I just play a LeFou. Like
Mm-hmm.
A 2-mana 2/2 over an item that does it every time? I don't know about
Value
that.
Town. I'm taking you to Value Town when I quest with my LeFou, you know.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we are moving into round 7. This is the very last round. This is where drafts are won and drafts are lost. So you're gonna have to pick out the pick to round out your draft here, and then after that, we will do the W Yap sesh where we recap our own drafts and finish some thoughts, and then we will post all of these graphics on Facebook and finish and post the video on YouTube. And at the end of the week, we will put a poll up and let you guys decide who had the best draft. So, how are you going to try and win this draft with your last pick, Luca?
So with my final pick, I've been thinking about this one a lot. I think I'm gonna go with Minnie Mouse, the 1-drop 1/3. And I think it's just a good card. It's just a vanilla one cost card, also played in red purple. So that's gotta be my pick.
Alrighty. I think that's a good pick to finish out the 7th round. We talked a little bit about that earlier when we were trying to finish out your draft board and talk particularly about how it mattered in the last set meta. Corey kind of mentioned it earlier when he picked Teeth and Ambitions. But it was really good in that meta versus Amber Steel, having the 1/3 to be able to still live and play Teeth on 2. So that is Luca's draft. His is done. Minnie Mouse Always Classy is the last one off the board.
I will be.
What are you taking with your 7th round pick, Matt?
I'm picking a card that I've always championed. He's going to be our star player, our Tom Brady. I'm picking Sergeant Tibbs, the best one drop in the game.
You are trying to feed into this chat right now. You better chill out.
No way. Somebody in chat wanted Sergeant Tibbs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, we got TJ doesn't know what he's talking about, but the main reason I like Sergeant Tibbs is because I hate Archimedes. So I just cheered for anybody that played Sergeant Tibbs as their 1-drop in red purple in set 1.
W reasoning.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Russell, how are you going to finish your draft and win it out here?
Honestly, I feel like there's a lot of good red cards left. I have quite a few left on my board to pick from, so I'm gonna go with a card I think is pretty good right now, but also has a lot of potential in the future with any cards that come out, and I think it's Vitalosphere, the item, one cost item.
That's a good one that we're seeing creep up right now. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so just a super cheap item, one cost, can banish and give any character rush and +2 attack. So it does a lot for a small cost. And it only costs one to use the ability as well. So I think Corey took the giant Aladdin, and that's a way to enable the giant Aladdin currently. Also a way to enable other cards, like you could use it on Mulan that I chose. If you didn't have the shift target, you could use that and give it bonus attack. There's just I think it has a lot of potential to give any card coming out in the future rush and combo with any really strong ability that relies on combat. So I think it's good.
I think it's a really great card to finish off your draft.
I agree with that heavily. I think this card's super underrated, and I think eventually when we get like an actually I guess more like stable meta version of the challenge deck, I think Vitalosphere is just going to be a staple of 4 of in that deck. Super good.
I think that's a really high value pick for your 7th round last pick. All right, Tanya, how are you going to finish your draft off?
I'm picking Noi. I just hear Corey laughing in the other room. No particular reason. It's me and a card, so yeah, that's all
I'm
I
not even
got for
sure
you.
what Lloyd does.
I don't even know
she's action based. Whenever you play an action, this character takes no damage in challenges. So it also kind of like feeds into like my current like challenging thing that I'm doing with my deck. So yeah.
challenge
I like
theme
Noi.
location draft.
Yeah.
Broken.
Eddie, so Tanya's draft is locked in and done. Corey, you have the last pick of the draft. Are you going to pick a bust or are you going to pick Brock Purdy? Who is Mr. Irrelevant in your draft?
Oh,
Well, Brock Purdy is a bust.
this is rough because I still have actually like a dozen cards left in my draft that didn't get selected. I saw somebody in chat saying Queen of Hearts, which is still on my list. It's a pretty good card. But I think for me, I'm gonna try to go high value here, and my card's gonna be Voyage.
What does that even?
Voyage is good.
It's
Voyage
a,
is
that
it's
good.
a it's a
do?
one cost action that
Brick.
moves 2 characters to a location for free.
That
So
is an awful card.
he
Oh
says
my
that, but we
god.
have RLS Legacy, Snuggly Duck. They both have RLS has a 3 move cost. Snuggly Duck has a 2 move cost. A lot of your other high value locations, they have a 2 move cost. The only one that is like super good that only has a 1 move cost is Gassel. Even
No,
in
the
even
only
in
good
Amber's
location.
even in Amber, you have Pride Lands. It costs 2. So being able to pay 1 ink and move 2 characters, you're basically saving 3 ink.
It's
So
only
I think
one to move to McDuck.
yeah, but McDuck doesn't
Yeah, but
do
McDuck
anything.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's broken.
and also it just
Mm.
if we get any other like a really good red location, we all obviously have Snuggly Duck now, but getting if we get anything else in the future, I just think being able to move 2 characters for 1 has the potential to be insane. So
That's
Okay, that's really good. I like the way we finished the draft there. I actually didn't think about doing this, but now that a lot of people say that a lot of their picks are still on their draft board, I've heard that from like Russ and Corey, and we have a few over here on Luca's. Let's just, if you have some, let's go top to bottom in the order that we started with, starting with Luca. If there are any honorable mentions that didn't get picked in the draft that you think are still pretty good cards that might have gotten taken, talk about them for a second. Just mention them.
uh so in my in my honorable mentions, I have 2-drop LeFou. Shut up, Corey. That's why he's in the honorable mentions and not my actual picks. I took Shield of Virtue over him. I played LeFou in Red Purple, so it was definitely a pick I was thinking about. I really like the card design. Illumineer was obviously in there. I thought the card was really good.
It's
It's crazy
Lumiere.
to me. It's crazy to me
Lumiere.
that Corey took
Lumiere.
an unplayable 1-drop over any of my cards. 3-drop Aladdin, Red Purple banger. And then the last card, Shere Khan, the 3-drop broken card. And also enchanted.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick Shere
Yeah.
Khan.
Shere Khan was my next pick as well.
I also, just to kind of corroborate what Luca said, I also had LeFou, Lumiere, and Shere Khan in my list of cards left.
Did we all just have the same cards in our list?
I also had Lumiere. The 1-drop Mulan was high up for me as well. Just another card to combo with Rapunzel. And it's shiftable into the big Mulan. And then Queen of Hearts, the 4/3 that draws a card every time one of your characters challenges.
That
Also
card's really good.
high up there. Another couple that were kind of on my list low down. The 3-cost aerial that when you play a song you get something evasive, I think is actually pretty good. Kind of. It also has evasive itself, so it can challenge Diablo. And Li Shang, the 3-drop, the one that's a Floodborn that gives all your characters with I think 4 or more attack additional lore questing power. I think that card also has some interesting potential, and it's cheap. So
Nice.
The
Were there?
cards that I had on my board still were Stitch, Little Rocket, the 2-drop 3/1 Rush, and then Imperial Proclamation, the card that hasn't seen play yet, but I feel like could be good. And then Namari, Heir of Fang.
Nice, nice. And then Tanya, did you have a few that didn't make it?
Most of mine have already been said, but 2 of mine were actually the Queen of Hearts, the little and the big. Mostly because I'm centered around a lot of Rush right now, and I just think both of those cards, like the draw power from the big Queen of Hearts, and then the Rush from the little one, I think are just pretty good for a 2-drop inkable Rush. I think it works well in any deck I'm building right now.
Righty, before we finish this up, let's move on to the Yap section of the draft where we recap each of our drafts, kind of overall talk about our picks, defend why we should get the audience's vote, and then we'll move on to the next person, and that'll be that. Luca, you were up to bat. Would you like to talk about your picks, your draft, go over it, recap it one more time for us,
Yeah.
and defend yourself?
So first of all, I just want to start off saying by saying I'm a very young kid, and like this would be such an amazing part of my life if y'all would vote for me. Really would change my life.
This just turned into an L Yap sesh.
No, you're an L Yap. Stop talking during my moment, Tom. Obviously B prep, best card in the entire game, bannable even. Flynn Rider, gotta stay with the red purple theme. I'm a red purple player. What are we doing? 8-drop Sisu. I really like the card. I wish it was a little bit better. I think the card should have evasive, but it might be too good. Minnie Mouse Stylish Surfer, red purple card, broken. Radigan, broken, banger cards. I just really like the card design. Shield of Virtue, I played it a lot in set 1 in red purple, and it was one of my favorite cards. Untapping with Aladdin to gain 4 lore. Minnie Mouse, always classy. Also played it in set 1 in red purple. 1 mana,
That's
1
just not even.
bannable.
Also enchanted.
Enchanted.
All
Better
right.
go off.
Matt, you're up to bat. Defend your draft and recap it for us.
I mean, Sergeant Tibbs was always number one on the board, but I knew no one would pick him. So if you just play Tibbs turn 1 through 4, and then you just play all these removal cards after him, like you're gonna win.
Till I sing swords.
Nah, we're playing red draft.
I think they'll just be blinded by the golden Mickey and the Dragonfire, and
Yeah,
then
if
they
you
won't know
drop
what else
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
down, like you're just getting disqualified. So
Alrighty. So Matt took Medusa, Maleficent Dragon, Dragon's Fire, BLT, Prince Eric, Medallion Waits, and Sergeant Tibbs. So we have some small drops, a lot of removal, and then guys to quest in your face.
only one with draw power.
Only one with draw power. That's all we need. All right, Russell, recap your draft for us and defend why you should get the audience vote.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with my draft. I think I got a lot of cards that are good right now, but also have a lot of potential for the future. That was kind of the theme of my draft. I feel like Maui is going to be good. It's amazing now, and it's going to be good going forward. I mean, the stats are insane. I don't think we'll see another 6-5 with Rush. um, in any other color. So yeah, I think it's pretty defining. Sisu, amazing. I mean, everyone's always going to be drawing cards against you, so it's always going to be relevant, I feel like. And great stats. Quest for 2. Um, Mulan, Vitalosphere, going to have great potential in the future. Some playability now. Brawl, I feel like it's going to be a staple for a hot minute. And Mother Gothel is somehow just better than it was last set. They got more options to heal and draw cards. RLS Legacy, currently my pick for the best location in red. And yeah, just being able to give something evasive is just really powerful, and the combo with Jim Hawkins is great. So pretty happy with everything overall.
Yeah, you had a really solid draft for us. Tanya, moving on to you. Defend your draft. Why should the audience pick you?
Genuinely, I believe that the audience should pick my draft because Noi and Tuk Tuk are the cutest cards in Ruby. That's it. That's all I got. Oh, I did have I had an Enchanted Goofy, B King Undisputed, Jim Hawkins, 3-drop, 1/1 Sisu, and then an Enchanted Snuggly Duckling as well. So very appealing to the eyes, guys.
That Noi looks scary.
That one does look
Noi
actually really scary.
It's terrifying.
Alrighty, Corey, recap your draft as our final person and defend why the audience should pick you.
I mean, it's easy. You know, I got all of the best cards in red. So we just go with Scar, Vicious Cheater, Infinite Value, Lady Tremaine, Infinite Value. Everybody knows the combo. Tremaine, Shift Tremaine, Snake it back, Fox it back, Infinite Value. Teeth and Ambitions literally is the reason why the deck was so good for set 3. It was the reason they were playing 1-drops and Luca's not playing 1-drops now. Besides Chernobog, is because this deck or this card just isn't as good this format. I'll admit that. That's why it was later picked. Maui's Fishhook, I think it's gonna make its way back into the meta. Again, giving something evasive is strong. Giving something Challenger 3 is also, or not even Challenger 3, just 3 attack is also strong. Playing it alongside one of the best cards in the game in Maui, being able to use its ability for free. Busted, Hydra, damage spread, always good. Aladdin, being able to remove lore while gaining lore, questing, is good. Also beautiful enchanted, I will say. Set 1 enchanted, best enchanteds. Voyage, I think, like I said, I think the sky's the ceiling with this card as soon as we get like as we move into potentially better locations than we already have. I think Voyage is just super efficient use of ink and deck space to get your characters to those locations. And that's all I gotta get. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I think that this is really fun. You guys are going to get to vote the audience. This will be up on YouTube in a day or so, and then we will post a few days after that all of the graphics that Tanya had developed while we were drafting. And you, the audience, will vote on our Facebook page for who had the best draft, and then we will announce that. Other than that, please join our Discord. Check out all our socials. Follow each and every one of them. Check out DjBigRuss on Twitch. He has a great community over there. And then just continue to follow us and check us out and spread the Ohana name. Also, Luca Serano, the winner of the 10K, is going to start doing coaching sessions. So if you would like to, reach out to him, and he will start doing those with you over Facebook.
Nice.
W Yap says.
Yap sesh.
I hope you guys enjoyed being participants in the draft, and hopefully we will do this again soon with another color and maybe under some different themes.
Yeah, it was
So
a lot
there's
of fun.
pirates on that voyage boat.
I love it.